Salama, salama, salama. I'm back to continue where we left off, hopefully. I just want to do a disclaimer. These videos are for educational purpose only, okay? I know I sounded a little tired and a little dry yesterday because I was, and I'm still is. I got a lot of other things going on, but another thing I wanted to say is that I'm trying to say this, and it's kind of slow, so it's pretty boring, not just for you guys, but probably for me. I won't say boring, but it's tedious because I'm trying to talk in a way to keep myself balanced and an anchor, to keep myself anchored. Not that I'm going to say too much balance, but to keep myself anchored so I just won't run off and run into different categories or different depths that you guys probably won't understand or understand. So I'm trying to break it down in layman terms so people can understand. I'm not trying to reach all the masses, and I'm not trying to reach people that's woke or people that trying to wake up. But just in case you run across this platform, it's gonna still be able to help you evolve or get some kind of understanding on some level of your journey. I mean, if you run across this, you're going to be blessed. I don't care what it is, whether you already know the stuff or what. And what I know, well, what I'm teaching is something I think a lot of us know. I'm trying to learn a new way. Well, I learned a new way yesterday, how to speak the universe, the university, and a universal. I found the way from another sister, the way she broke it down. So I broke it down the same way because I could explain something to people and I would totally lose them, because for me, when I speak about the universe and universe and I, and it's basically telling my story, it's basically my private man. So I know what that means as far as law, as far as my private side, and basically what the Bible is teaching us about ourselves and the universe. I also know as far as the university, I also know that that is law. Like when people say Allah is all law. So I know the law of God. So when we read in the Bible also teaching us about being educated and edified. So I do know that method of it too. And when we're talking about the universitatory, I told you it's hard to pronounce, but when we talk about universitata, it's also, that's the biz and the corporation part, and that's talking about bankruptcy and banking law. So that's also on the legal side. So I've been studying in not just the Bible, but also the legal matter and the personal matter. So it's a lot of stuff they got me studying on, and I'm trying to stay balanced and keep myself anchored because I know so many different areas what this stuff mean in the depth. So I'm trying to just keep it balanced to where I'm not just running in the area where I would lose people totally. So I'm not trying to cross breed the education. So I'm trying to keep the biblical stuff right here, and I'm trying to keep the biblical stuff, which is the private stuff. But also I'm trying to keep the legal private matter away from the public matter. So it's kind of hard to do for me, but I'm learning. So I'm here learning with y'all. I'm learning how to maintain my mouth. So I'm trying to, I guess, say stuff in layman terms. Basically, I ain't gonna say dumb it down because it's not. I don't like calling nobody ignorant or dumb or anything like that. I think we all on our own different journey of learning. So I'm just not trying to lose the people that's inboxing me, asking me questions, instead of me reaching out to people individual. I just figure I try to put a little something out for what they ask, which I already answered the question, most of them anyway, but I don't want to keep answering the same thing because now I'm copying and pasting, telling you the same thing because it's most people asking questions. So I will copy and paste real quick because I went through a time already when I was in prison. I had to write multiple letters, and I copy and paste those letters because I got tired. Everybody And I think I'm going to get into it because my name, which is I'm on now, Renee, born again. But so also when I was in prison, my name was changed to Chucky, and when I look at the etymology of Chucky, let me just do it, Chucky, and I was going to use it as a corporation. I put an S on the end. But when I look at Renee actually means born again. And I've been born again multiple times, not just in the religion aspect, but also in my life. But also if you look at my name in French, my name is really deep. So when you look at my name in French, it can mean, it do mean goddess. But you won't find it in Google. Google is not going to allow you to search that up and find that I'm a goddess. But if you French, you would know that. So, but Chucky, the etymology of Chucky, what I got, the C is for Christ. The H, help. You, Christ, keep you. And the S, safe. Christ help you, Christ keep you safe. So that was another etymology of that name. But I got a deeper name, in depth of it, but I don't want to run off into that. So again, the name, my name, Renee. So born again. I know what my name means. Take your name, just break it down in syllable and get in depth with it. Don't just look for Google on Google Map. You probably have to go to get your Oxford Dictionary or something, get encyclopedias and just get the origin of your name and so forth. And just go in depth. It's also numerology with your name, with your birthday and everything. My life number is 11, which is an angel number, angel spiritual number is one of the numbers. And if I look at that 11, I lived on the 11th floor, 1110. So, and then I lived in another location with a lot of ones, and if a lot of locations where I add all the numbers up, it would give me 11. So if I look back at the addresses, a lot of addresses I live, I don't care if it was in Utah, Illinois, Wisconsin, or where I'm at now, my numbers could add up to 11. And sometimes it's triple 11, sometimes it's 11. So I know that I was always being covered and always being guided by the Most High Mother and Father, which I just call them Mother and Father, keep the balance in the feminine and the masculine energy. So getting back to this, I can't remember because I still had these scriptures down, and I'm trying to see where would I go now, but I would pretty much, I should have went back over this, but I would pretty much go back when Jesus was talking about in John 14:20, when he said, I am in you, and I am in the Father, and you are in me. Matter of fact, let me just pull that up, because I'm trying to guesstimate. Let me get one of these phones. But if you got your phone, just go down there and help me with it, because I abbreviate it. But he's talking about how he and the Father are one, and then he also tells us how we are also part of that Trinity, which is the Holy Spirit. But when you look at it, you got to go back to you and I, which is the universe. So that's Christ and the Most High. So when you look at it, Christ is speaking about him and the Most High being one. Or you want to call him the Father, which I can break down the metaphor of the Father, which I'm going to do in a minute. But when he's talking about him and the Father are one, how do him and the Father become one? How did they come one? We always knew Jesus was praying and meditating, going off to himself. So this is what he was really doing. He was going into meditation. So when he said that him and the Father is one, then he said we also are one with them. So what I say that was John 14. So I'm just put up John 14. And then we're going to go to 20. I got it written down, but I don't want to lose this video. I'm going to say do all images. John 14. We're going to do King James, and I say it was verse 20. Verse 20. No. Read full chapter. It say, I think that's it. It say, at that day ye shall know that I am in the Father, and ye in me, and I in you. So how could we all three be in one another? If he said it, Jesus said it, and that day ye shall know that I am in the Father, he's in the Father, and ye in me. So how do we get inside of Christ? And I in you. Okay? And they said we have to ask Christ, we have to ask him into our heart, be born again, and ooh, this and that. And I always knew we did, but again, I jumped on the bandwagon because this is what my family was going through. Because I'm telling you, when I was in prison, I think I went to every church service. I went to Catholic, I went to Muslim, I practiced Muslim, I studied Catholic, Christian, Muslim, Christianity, and I would have did the native, but they wouldn't let me in because you have to have proof that you full blood Indian. But I am full blood Indian. My family are Choctaw, so we're from out of Birmingham, Alabama. So we are original to this land. We not slave owners or none of that. I'm just telling you about my family history, and my family knew this. But I never knew this growing up. But my family knew this. And the crazy part is, when I got on this journey, I'm searching for where my family at, because I'm looking. I knew they was from Alabama, and I found Birmingham, Alabama. And then I'm asking ancestors, asking some of my cousins, my older one, and I'm telling them, we Choctaw because we from here. And I'm telling them, and they say, yeah, we knew that. We knew that. Growing up, we knew our grandmama, because it's their grandmother, but it'd be my great-great-great-grandmother. My great-great, not my grandmother, my great-grandmother was Grandma Maggie, then my great-great-grandmother. So they knew we was Choctaw. I said, well, how y'all gonna believe the story? We slave and we, you know what I mean? We can't be slave and aboriginal to this land. So it got to be one or the other. Even from a granddaddy, which is both from down there, could have been cousins from both sides. But anyway, I just was trying to explain to them. You know, you can't be both. See, that's why I say I got to keep myself grounded. That's why I had the notes, because I get to talk about something and I run out. But he was saying how we are one. We are all in one. So how do we become one with Christ in the Most High? You know, so Christ tells us in Colossians. I mean, I was talking about us being, they said the church teaching us that we had to be born again into the church. But if you look at it, I think it was in Colossians 5, I don't know. Let me see. You know, it's Colossians. Colossians 3. I think it's 3:11. We're going to say. But in Colossians, he tells us that he's already in us. He's in everybody. I don't care if you're a barbarian, whoever you are. He said, when there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcised, barbarian, Samaritan, bound nor free, but Christ is in all and in all. Christ is all and is all. See, they saying Christ. They ain't talking about Jesus. See how they separate Jesus from Christ? They're talking about Christ. It's the Christ constant, because it's all about Christ. It's not about Jesus. I mean, Jesus is relevant. It was real, but I mean, you could say it's real. It was somebody in that space, but when you look at it, it's not about Jesus. It's about the Christ, the higher conscious. And how do we get to that higher conscious? When you look at here, Jesus again, he was trying to take our attentions away from the world. He was trying to take our attentions from the world and place it within, ourselves, towards the Most High, trying to within ourselves, because he tells us the kingdom of heaven is within you. Okay, he tells us the kingdom is heaven within us. So right here in John 14:20, again, Jesus tells us that he's in the Father, and that we are in him, and he's in us. Right here in Colossians, he's telling us Christ is all and in all. Christ. It's all about Christ. It's not even Jesus. And he letting us know this. He trying to direct us to the right location. And so when he was telling us basically how to meditate, Matthew 6:22 tell us basically where he was telling us how to meditate, say, what's this King James Version? The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. So if thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. So if your eye be single, not these eyes we can see where they say Let him that hear, let him that see, and let him that hear have an ear hear. So it's the same thing. It's not talking about these ears, it's talking about spiritual ears. It's not talking about these eyes, it's talking about the third eye, the spiritual eye. So if this light be single, this is the single eye. So how you activate that single eye? The only way you can activate it is by meditating. And that's what the story of Moses was all about. Moses being in the desert on a mountain. So that's what that pretty much was about. And Jesus was pretty much trying to get us to rise to a higher conscious. He was trying to get us to rise to the higher conscious the way he did. And that was through meditation. And that's why he said, ask my Father, whatever you will, in my name. And he wasn't telling us to ask in his name. He was telling us to ask the way he tells us to ask. And you got to understand what the etymology for name is, okay? The etymology for name is pretty much way. So he was telling us to ask the way he did. And the way he did, he went into meditation. He went off to himself, and he went into meditation. And that's why he kept asking. They was asking, could nobody pray for him? He said, could you wait and watch with me? He didn't need nobody to pray with him. He never asked nobody to pray with him, because even he tell us, ask him for nothing. He said he won't even pray for, he won't even do an intercession for, interceding for us. So when he was mad about his disciple, he just wanted them to stay and watch. He didn't need them to join him. You know how we go to church and they said, let's pray together, let's intercede for one another. He wasn't asking them to do that. He was asking them to stay watch, stay watch, because he was going into a deep meditation. And in that meditation, you rising up to a higher conscious, and he just wanted them to watch just in case somebody came and did something. But I don't think he was even worried about that, but he was just saying just in case. He wasn't even worried about it, because I'm telling you, when you favor it in the spiritual realm, you're really not worried about it. You think about it, but you're really not worried about it, because you hold a high ranking in the spiritual realm. And if anybody should want to do anything to you, that's why he kept escaping, because he was highly favored in the spiritual realm. And when your time is coming for that, to make that ascension, then you would do. But as far as the crucifixion, it wasn't about him. I'm getting lost. It wasn't about him getting murdered and hung on a cross. It's all about the higher conscious, where he died here. Because when you go into meditation, the meditation in your flesh, you start here with the flesh. And then when you ascend, you're being baptized into the water. Once you get baptized into the water, you're going to meet him up in the air, which is in the air. So it's not like we're going to see him and meet him in the sky, in the clouds. It's not those clouds. It's in the air, because we traveling in the conscious. So we traveling through, I say the conscious, and that's what it is. We traveling through the cosmic conscious right here through our mind. And that's how we stay connected with the universe, with the Most High, the divine Most High God. And I call him the Mother and Father, but it's really Divine Mother. And I'm going to show you the metaphor for that. But when you meditate, you meet them. So the body is the flesh. And when you go up and you elevate to the next level, you're going to be baptized in the water. So you got the 4 elements. You got the earth, the water, the fire. The earth, the water, the air, and the fire. And you also have the plasma, but the earth is the body. Then you get the water, where you're being really supposed to be baptized. Well, that's how you worship in spirit and truth and everything. Once you meet the air, that's how you worship in spirit and truth. That's where you meet him at. That's how Jacob met God face to face. That's how he was able to see God face to face. And that's why he named, when he was sleeping, when he wrestled with God, he wrestled. They tell him he wrestled with a man, and he found out it was God, and he broke his hip. But that's really not what it was. That's why he named the place Pinnacle, because it was the pinnacle, the third eye. That's what that was talking about, because he met God in the air. So that's when he said he wrestled with God. And he named the place, when he laid his head on the rock, he wrestled with God. But when you go to the fire, which is the next element, and that's where you're being purified, and that's what made God change his name from Jacob to Israel. And his name was Trickster, Schemer, and so that's his name. So that was his name, and he changed it and to Israel. And they tell us he was going to be a father of many nations. But when you look at Israel, you got to break it down. I don't really want to go down to the breakdown of his name, because it's more than one God, because you're going to be looking at the sun God, the Amun Ra, which is the fire. So it's so deep. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to lose y'all in there, but that's what Jesus was talking about when he prayed and when he met the Most High. And that's what I want to tell y'all about. It's how he get that name, I am, and where it comes from. So that's one of the things I really want to talk about. So before I get into the Yahweh, I just want to reiterate, because I know I was speaking fast. When he say, ask him my way, and he tell us what to ask for. I think it's Matthew 5 something. He said, ask for the daily bread. We're supposed to be asking for our daily bread. And I ain't talking about Wonder Bread and none of that. And our daily bread, basically, he tell us in Matthew 5, and it's asked for our daily bread. Our daily bread will be the wisdom and understanding. So once we go into meditation, get to the higher conscious level where we sitting there communing with the Most High, Mother and Father. And I keep saying that because I want to keep the balance for the masculine and feminine, the divine masculine and divine feminine. I want to keep the balance in that energy. So he's telling us that when we meditate, we ask for our daily bread. And we should do this daily, not just once a day, but whatever affairs you got going on, if it's money or whatever. Because if you see my situation, I'm being born again multiple times, and I understand what it is. And I don't have to ask for money or nothing like that, because what I'm getting is wisdom and understanding of what's going on with my affairs, with what's going on with where I'm at, with what's going on with what's within the Bible, or with my teaching or whatever, or my assignment, because I have multiple assignments, so I'm doing multiple study, and I'm not just doing study, I'm putting stuff in action and form. So you might not see a lot of stuff, and I just post a lot of goofy stuff just to keep my mind, or relax my mind, so it won't be stressful. And I'm really not stressed over it. I might get a little weary and tired like I was yesterday, last night posting that one, but I was determined to put something out there because people keep asking me. And I'm not trying to reel nobody in, and I'm not trying to sell you nothing like that. And like I said, I'd rather have $1 million than 1 million likes. And that's just really what it is, because I'm doing my assignment. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I know I done jumped over place, and I know I done put these notes. So this is an intro, a second part of the intro. It will get better when I learn how to present it in this kind of form. And I do want to work on my presentation. I can do it when you're sitting here, but it's kind of hard trying to show you, because I didn't prepare for it, because I didn't get this blackboard, but I didn't get it like you might see people on YouTube get it. But my thing is, I just wanted to get it out and share that with you. So let me go ahead and show you, share with you guys about the Yahweh. So give me